Greetings, fellow Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Mickeyfan.
And welcome to the Power of Veto ceremony for week 5 of 1986 an Imagineering competition. Yeah. All right, Mickeyfan. So it was the Tomorrowland Project. The Tomorrowland Project is always the one that is probably among the most challenging, but also the one that kind of like has the most creative, creative breathing room.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, you guys didn't do Tomorrowland. You did Epcot.
It's a pretty milquetoast project. I'm gonna say that much.
So I think here's the deal, guys. I like the whole time. The judges were basically like, yeah, this is, it's a good Epcot project, but it doesn't really feel all that much like Tomorrowland. Where's the Tomorrowland? It's just kind of an Epcot retread.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I'm going to go out and say that I do like a lot of elements of this project individually.
Totally. I think
I love some of the concepts. I absolutely adore the Inner Space Mountain, for one.
Oh, yeah. That was probably one of the most inspired things in the park. And I think the only reason that Doug didn't get Power of Veto
Head of household
in this round is because he got it last week.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I think we had a top 4 for the head of household.
Yes.
Our top 4 was Ace, Peregrine, Mickey Nerd, and Nigel.
Yes.
Ace, because he was doing some really solid work with some of the more minor parts of the project and doing it really well.
Yep.
Peregrine, because what was Peregrine doing? Remind me.
Did Peregrine do the art?
Oh, yes, he did the art for one, which honestly, that could have won him HOH right there.
Oh, yeah.
The art was fantastic. Let's see. And then, of course, we had, who else do we have as a contender?
Mickey Nerd.
Mickey Nerd, because Mickey Nerd is an interesting case, because in spite of us not liking the Epcot direction, he very much was pushing it and was very adamant about it. And so, just because in the end it'd be kind of hypocritical of us to be like, we didn't really care for the Epcot direction. Here, we're going to reward you for going the Epcot direction.
Yes.
But the person who is head of household right now, and they've known this since this afternoon, is Nigel.
Yep.
So Nigel, congratulations. The reason we went with Nigel, I honestly think it's pretty straightforward. He was the only one who did something that wasn't Epcot, that was a major thing that wasn't Epcot.
Yeah, basically,
and that's really what our decision comes down to, honestly. Like, it's kind of just send a message, like, hey,
don't get me wrong. Epcot is outstanding, but I think that Epcot and Tomorrowland are just two totally separate ideas, and they don't mix.
And I feel like a lot of stuff got lost in execution.
It's like chocolate and gravy. They're both really great on their own, but you don't mix them.
I'm not going to go that far. I think you can mix them. I think my problem here is that a lot of it was just like, you like Horizons, kids? Have more Horizons.
Little bit.
All right. You guys want to add more of the thrill and zoom of Tomorrowland? Okay. I'm going to address something that you guys were kind of very much scared to do this round. And that is include a backstory. That's include like going in depth. And so here's what I want you guys to take note of, and I'm gonna put this as simply as I can. You can do a good backstory without it having to be like this essay long affair in its own right. Like most of the backstories at Disney parks are subtle, they're only there if you really look for them. And so with that in mind, I don't want you guys to like just be scared of backstory, because honestly, I feel like that's what kind of made you guys go in the Epcot direction.
Yeah, I think that I think that, again, there's nothing wrong with the Epcot direction. But what I look for in a Tomorrowland is something that is a bit more fantastical, and it's not hard science, it's science fiction or even science fantasy, if you want to go that far.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say it, like, even if you guys went with the Disney just got Lady I mean,
disagree, B-Wolf.
I think that even if you guys would have held true to the original concept of like a Tomorrowland, like a futuristic city by the sea, and still had a lot of you know what, you guys, I am kind of agreeing with you. People are fucking jumping on you, Mickey fan.
I have my hot takes about Tomorrowland.
Well, I am going to agree that I think my favorite Tomorrowlands, the real Tomorrowland is Future World. Well, not today's Future World, dude. Not today's Future World. Maybe the 80s Future World. Oh boy. Oh, we're gonna get flack for this podcast, guys. I know it.
We are.
I will say that I don't dislike the Epcot. I don't dislike the Epcot direction as much as Mickeyfan does. I'm gonna throw you under the bus in that regard.
I keep saying it. I'm gonna say it until I'm blue in the face. Epcot and Tomorrowland are totally different.
I don't agree with that statement, though. To me,
let me rephrase that. The modern definitions of Epcot and Tomorrowland are different.
To me, like I said, my main issue with this is just that there wasn't really a lot of new ideas at play.
Oh, that too.
Like, I mean, even the best thing about it, Inner Space Mountain, which by all means is great, is still just kind of like a creative space mountain.
I just said that they should have thrown Ellen into the mix.
Yeah, maybe. At the end of the day, though, guys, I'm gonna just kind of like underline this so you guys don't get too upset about our feedback here. Our feedback, literally from a game perspective, does not matter.
It really doesn't. We're here to basically give critiques and say, this is what we liked, this is what we didn't, here's how you can improve.
All right, and again, I am going to emphasize that I do not agree with Mickeyfan about Epcot, how Epcot and Tomorrowland can't be connected. My problem with your project is just that it basically lifted a lot of like, hey, here's Living with the Land, here's Horizons, here's Marvel.
Lacking in originality.
Yeah, that was my main problem. My main problem with it wasn't Epcot. If you guys would have done an Epcot-esque project, say the Progress City idea, honestly, if they would have done Project City, Mickeyfan, I would have been a little bit more down for that.
I would have been down for Progress City.
So that's if you guys see where I'm coming from here, like that's at the end of the day, that's really my main disappointment with the project. All right. So please just don't cannibalize us, guys.
Yeah.
And you know what? Throw Ellen into literally everything going forward.
Add that to the list. Roaming animatronic, carrying swords, eats paint, Ellen.
Mickey Nerd, the soundtrack was good. I gotta be honest, I think you were maybe a little pushy with it.
A little
If I'm
bit.
gonna critique your social game just a bit. But it was a good pick. Oh god, dragons in the comments. Someone grab the bibs. What does that even mean? I don't. What does that mean? Right. Oh god, how do Space Ranger spin where she shoots the interns? Oh god.
I think she'd put her name on that.
All right, so Mickeyfan, would you like to reveal the two people up for eviction this week?
Why you gotta keep throwing me under the bus like this?
Yeah, that's your job. Oh, the cannibalizing comment, right?
So I don't think that. I honestly don't think anyone's going to be surprised by these. Beowulf and Brer Panther.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, I do think that this was a good call because I think at the end of the day, you guys both did stuff for the project. You did, pretty solid work, but very, very, very absent in the brainstorming. And so from my perspective, that's probably why you got nominated. But I asked Nigel, bring it up with him. He's the one who nominated you.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that in mind, Dash was absent for like 80% of the project. Yeah, well, like I said, bring it up with Nigel. Bring it up with Nigel, Mickey Nerd.
Dragon said that your nickname for me is Bus Stop.
Yeah. All right. So, all the names have been inserted back into what is this week's quirky grab bag going to be? Oh, look, it's just a McDonald's fry box. What do you know?
Boo.
All right. Okay, so we are going to be picking 3 names, and you know what I just realized, Mickeyfan? I do not have the house guest choices in here. So let me put 2 house guest choice. All right. So, guys, we will be going live with the veto results on Friday, and then we will be doing a full recap of the Tomorrowland project on Saturday.
That's the plan.
Guys, Dragon, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Does this really surprise you, Dragon?
When is Tiki ever prepared, Dragon?
Yeah, really. I mean, I'm comfortable enough with myself to admit it.
Really?
All right. Okay. Almost ready there. Okay, now we're ready. Let me just give it a big shake. Okay, we're going to start with Nigel. Nigel's pick is Mickey Nerd.
Ooh.
And you know what, Dragon? It is literally a running gag that the budget for these things gets worse and worse every episode, all right? So,
what was last week's?
last week's was, oh god, it was a Burger King chicken fries cart.
Okay, so the chicken fries became recurring temporarily.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Mickey Nerd will be playing. Let's see, and then we will go to Brer Panther. And Brer Panther gets Peregrine. Peregrine, the Veto King. He's been playing in a lot of vetoes.
He has.
All right. And finally, we get to Beowulf, shaking it around. Right, and
Suspense is killing me.
Outbound.
Ooh.
All right. So, playing in the veto will be Nigel, Peregrine, Outbound, Mickey Nerd, Brer Panther, and Beowulf. Would you like to know what the veto is, folks?
I'm very excited about this veto.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one.
It is. So should we just come out and tell them?
I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to give them a brief look into the team trademark conversation.
Scandalous.
I know, right?
Scandalous.
All right, guys. Let me just... And I still have 12 unread private messages, just going to warn you.
Bruh.
Okay. Mickeyfan, take the lead here. What are we looking at?
So basically, you're going to go back to any of the lands you've created so far. So Main Street, Adventureland, Fantasyland, Small World, Tomorrowland, any of those 5, and either pitch a redo or pitch an expansion to one of them. So the door is wide open. We are not asking for a full-on project because you have 36 hours to do this. But we're looking for, you got our critiques, you got what we like, we got what we don't like. And so go back and either fix it or do something different with it.
All right, and then importantly, Mickeyfan, we absolutely have to bring up the importance of the veto and winning it in the context of the website and what that's all going to mean. So you guys essentially get to like have your fingerprints on an entire land if you win this thing.
Oh yeah, totally. You get to totally change the canvas of the park.
Absolutely. Now, what I imagine that would mean if someone wins with a redo instead of an expansion, it would mean that like we'll still keep all the core details of the original land in the website. That's totally fine. Just like add on to the end of it. And by the way, in this year, such and such, this happened.
Yeah.
So no problem. We're not trying to retcon anything.
No, we're not retconning. We are. I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna sound cliche, but you know what Walt said: Disneyland will never be complete.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So yeah.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
So Mickeyfan, you will go ahead and post the nominees and the prompt and everything on
I will.
On the main thread.
I will.
Chat. Hail Buck Cluck. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. I hope you don't take our feedback to heart. And I mean, like I said, I haven't even read the project yet, so I'm just basing it just based on the actual what I know about the project. So for all I know, I could really like it. For all I know,
Yeah.
So I really don't want you guys to be like dispirited, like, oh man, Tiki and Mickeyfan really grilled us. I really don't want you to come away with this from a negative attitude. And of course,
this is literally first impressions.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we'll be deep diving into every attraction on the podcast on Saturday. Of course, we'll be giving written feedback as we get to it. More poo talk. Yeah.
More poo talk.
I love it. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good night. See you later.
Bye bye.